then, so it is LNL Football here for another episode, and we are here to talk about the England-Scotland game, which is starting about half an hour or so at the point of recording this. We've just received the team news for England tonight, and so, Rory, what are your initial thoughts on the team?
James Milner's playing.
As we established last time.
Stuart Downing's playing. Disgraceful. Good to see Shaw and Oxlade-Chamberlain.
I mean, Shaw
and Fraser Forster.
Forster for me was a good choice because I think, particularly, he's got, coming from playing for Celtic, he's got experience of like the Scottish League, I suppose. So maybe again a little bit of a tactical advantage, but it's good to see someone else other than Hart get run out, as we discussed last time. We were sort of saying it's a bit worried now, just sort of going, Hart's going to go in goal, and should our people give a chance?
Barkley and Barry,
I think they're going to come on because
it's friendly, so yeah. He's
I would have started.
How many subs?
Yeah, I mean, I would have started them personally. I mean, I know it's a big game, but I feel like we've just give him a chance. I mean, if he can, Berahino has performed in the Premier League on a consistent basis throughout the season. He's the highest English goal scorer, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
So, I mean, he clearly has got quality. I'd throw him at the deep end and see what he can do. I know Walcott's fresh back from injury, and I know Arsene Wenger probably doesn't want to rush him in, and may have said to Hodgson, be careful. But starting Downing, I mean, seriously?
If you look at it, actually, Liverpool have been playing Sterling quite centrally. I know he's not playing today, but he could play that role for England. But the problem with that is that what do you do with Rooney?
Well, the thing is, yeah, because then you'd have to have Rooney up top, but if Rooney wasn't, it would then be a case of maybe we don't have the wingers that we wouldn't use wingers, but with the wingers we've got, we kind of have to utilise them.
Won't go for that because traditionally England have always played with the wings and getting the ball into the box.
Yeah, but I feel like and also with the wingers we've got, like Walcott, Lallana can play out in the wide, Bartley can sometimes do it as well. I mean, Berahino could probably do it. I mean, if you gave him the chance, and we've got Chamberlain as well. Even Welbeck out wide, I would personally like to keep sort of width with England, even if it was like a case of like our initial shape was quite sort of constricted and then expanded.
The only way we actually stretch teams really is by taking them out wide. You know, like you look at Spain, Italy, teams like that. They have ways of getting through and making runs beyond, but actually England only play sort of in a V shape.
Yeah. If we look at the bench again, I mean, if we had to pick people to come on, I mean,
Callum Chambers could have maybe got a start. I think he's impressed for Arsenal personally.
Yeah, but I think again, I'd argue he's more of a centre back as well, and maybe with Chris Smalling with the experience he's got. I mean, tonight, while we might not deem it a big game, in terms of culturally,
I think it's an absolutely massive game, and not just because it splits me straight down the middle. I think Scotland are actually not quite realised as good as they actually are.
Well, if we look at this, bringing us on to Scotland, if we look at the team here, I mean, Marshall in goal. I mean, Marshall is, in my opinion, quite an underrated goalkeeper. On his day, he can be very good. As we saw when he was in his Premier League experience he had like last season.
Yeah, they're not massively established names, but Sean Maloney's in great form for Scotland.
Yeah, the goal he got against Ireland.
That was a fantastic goal. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah, really do.
Ikechi Anya was absolutely outstanding in the Germany game. I watched that live, and he ran. You know, they were world champions at that point. It was the first game of qualification. They absolutely ran them ragged.
And then you got Naismith, who of course is a Premier League regular for Everton, and of course Everton
have got quite a few goals this season as well.
I mean, but then you look at Darren Fletcher on the bench. I mean, Dorrans, Greer.
I don't think they're struggling. Like, I think they've improved quite a lot, especially.
I think Strachan's done a good job.
And I really like Gordon Strachan.
He's come in. He's done quite a job. He's sort of, Scotland are always sort of like a bit unstable in terms of like with qualification. Like they've been handed chances where they've been able, I think, to get through.
Euro 2008, they beat France home and away.
Yes.
And if they'd got a draw against Italy in their last game, they would have qualified.
Yeah, it's again. Sometimes it does just come down to those random games, and it's a bit unlucky to sort of.
For them to have had France and Italy in their group and taken it right to the wire is impressive. But since then, they've really struggled, I think.
Yeah, it's like with Wales, because if you look at Wales on paper, I mean, they have an all-right squad. I mean, obviously the two stand-up players are Bale and Ramsey.
And they're by far and away the best.
I mean, like, I almost feel like essentially a little bit sorry for Bale in the sense that
I feel like if there's two outstanding players in a team, then it doesn't work as well as if everyone is the same level.
Yeah.
Like if they're all reasonably good, you know, like Scotland, none of them are absolutely outstanding.
But I think the thing with teams like Scotland is it's the work ethic, which they do have. They'll work hard and they'll keep their shape.
Ireland.
They'll keep their shape and they'll keep teams away and be very defensive. And then they have the potential to go and like Naismith. I mean, while he's not the quickest player, he's got a decent amount of pace. I mean, like he's not that bad a finisher, and I think overall he can.
Be a hostile atmosphere.
Yes, definitely.
I think this is why I think England might struggle. I mean, the lineup's relatively strong. I think Hodgson's definitely gone out very much to avoid getting embarrassed.
Yeah, we don't want to lose this game, especially as I was saying. Can you imagine if Scotland had got independence? And then we'd had this game. How important a game!
Political debate on NL football.
Well, yeah, but can you imagine? It's that sort of thing in terms of like this is how culturally a bigger game this is. Like when we played Ireland again last year, that was the first time that happened. And
since the trouble was pretty
much. I mean, speaking as England fans, these are very sort of. It's sort of nice to see these pictures coming back because they're great to watch.
They mean that, you know, like too often England play teams and it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
there's some minnows from Eastern Europe and we don't really care.
But this is quite.
This is like a derby.
Yeah, but say this is like a derby for us. I mean, the closest we thought had that was when we had Wales in our Euro group for 2012.
Playing Germany, but playing Germany is just
not good at the moment. We're going to lose.
Never fun.
That's just going to be an annihilation.
Okay, so I guess score predictions.
Scotland to score first. I'm going to go for Maloney to score for Scotland, but then England to come back and win it 2-1 with goals from Rooney and Downing.
Oh dear.
That's
not the smart money.
Downing is going to be the surprise package of the day.
Stuart Downing's mum wouldn't bet on Stuart Downing scoring. I'm going to go 2-1 to England as well, not Scotland. Apologies, mum.
I think she's watching as she got one viewer.
Ikechianya and double from Rooney.
Okay, well that is our score predictions, and the game is starting in about 15 minutes, so we will watch.
No watch.
I was trying to do a subtle implying I'm looking at the watch, but there's the laptop just there, which is what I was really looking at. But yeah, so my fake watch says it will start in 15 minutes. So we'll go watch the game, and we'll be back in.
It's important that we watch the game.
Oh yeah,
quite important.
Do you reckon we get away with not watching it? I mean,
possibly.
We'll go watch the game, and we'll be back later on to discuss our thoughts, and hopefully it'll be a positive conclusion.
Hopefully it'll be a draw.
No, we're going to win. Where's your pride? We're going to win.
I have pride in both countries.
Fuck your loyalties. You have to pick a side.
I'm on the referee's team.
The referee's team.
So probably England.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, so England have just played Scotland. The score was 3-1.
To England. So we went far from our predictions in terms of scoreline. I mean, we both said 2-1.
I got Rooney to score twice, which he did.
I said Scotland. I did say Rooney to score, I think. I actually can't remember.
Yeah, Rooney Downing, I think.
Yeah, I know I said Downing, but I also said Scotland to score first. So I was a bit off. But I mean, in terms of result, I thought it was good. I mean, it's always good to win against home nations, really. Gives you a little bit of bragging rights, I suppose.
There was a bit of edge to the game. Danny Welbeck seemed to be determined to get booked.
Well, yeah, the opening 10 minutes, he did. I think at one point he actually went to start on the linesman, which was a bit odd.
Charlie Mulgrew produced something which would probably got them sent off in a competitive game on Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah.
In terms of performance,
it was good. It was a good performance overall.
I think it was a professional display. I wasn't massively entertained, but England got the job done.
I think it's quite entertaining. I thought it was quite like a sort of end-to-end game. I mean, there were points where Scotland
were
dominating.
20 minutes were very good.
The opening 20 minutes when Scotland were sort of dominating was quite good. I mean, in terms of it was kind of I think actually we forgot to say this beforehand. I was expecting the first 20 minutes to be all Scotland, and then for us we had to just sort of hold them back. That's when I was expecting a possible goal to come for Scotland. Those opening 20 minutes when they were going to go really for it.
When you look at it, England, I can't really criticise any of England's players today. I think everyone had a decent game.
Apart from Downing.
Well, yeah, Stuart Downing. But, he didn't play badly.
I'd say he did.
I don't know, he didn't really do anything. I suppose
that's why he played badly. I mean,
he was anonymous, but it wasn't a display where you look at England and say they should have done better. I thought they played fairly well.
It's a display where you look at it and go, job done, 3 goals. Technically, a little bit of laziness, I suppose, with Scott McGarvey to switch off back, but then straight away to go up the pitch like we saw against Slovenia the other week, last week, and then get a goal back. I mean, that's a good. It shows we've got a good response rate.
Actually, again impressed by Rooney. I've been, as we know from our last video, highly critical of him as captain,
and by the shirt he's wearing.
But I think he actually stepped up today again.
2 goals,
passionate display, worked hard, took his goals.
Yeah, should we talk about the goals? I mean, the Oxlade-Chamberlain goal. It's a great pass by Wilshere over the top. I mean, it's funny. It looks as though, when you initially look at it, looks as though the ball actually goes over Oxlade's head, and it could just go straight forward.
When I first saw it, admittedly, I thought it went just straight in.
But it just goes like
on
the
faintest
of touches.
Very faint.
It like literally just strokes his head.
Good header. I like Oxlade-Chamberlain. I think he's a good player. He deserves his chance with England, and I'm glad that he scored.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I mean, again, he doesn't always get sometimes like the first choice sort of place. I think he should at Arsenal.
I'll tell you, the thing I like about Oxlade-Chamberlain is how he's different from Theo Walcott. When he plays wide, not only does he have the confidence to beat players, and he will actually take players on and he'll do something with the ball when he's got the chance, but he also is able to play out wide, whereas Walcott likes to come in and go for goal. Oxlade-Chamberlain is good at crossing, which is obviously an important part of a winger's game.
It's like a variation between the two. Like if you want the pacey, then outpace the attacker and shoot.
And probably better finishing, Theo Walcott.
Oh yeah, because he's older and of course he's a more experienced player, so that will come with Oxlade over time. Then if we look at Rooney's first goal, so second England goal, I mean, it would seem
he's going to take the record.
Yeah,
I don't think you can fault that. And 101 caps, 46 goals is a good record.
Yeah, people are constantly slagging Rooney off, going, "Is he the most disappointed England legend ever?" I mean, when you look at it, he's going to surpass the goal record. I mean, can you call him a crap player if he's going to become our top goal scorer
in big tournaments since the Euro? Since that Euros, the one where he broke through and.
Yeah,
that was absolutely incredible to see an 18-year-old do that.
But I mean, again, I think it could be too much expectation. I mean, to pin all our hopes solely on that one player could be. Would that then highlight maybe how much we're then over dependent on?
And if you actually look at it, 2006 World Cup he actually went into injured.
Yeah.
2010 World Cup he went into not injured but recovering from injury and not
in the best fit and not in the best of form either when you consider it.
Although. In that season, he'd scored an unbelievable amount of goals. Actually, since returning, you're right, he was in poor form.
And then with the Euro 2012, he missed the first 2 matches.
He played relatively well.
He got the winning goal against you. No, was it Ukraine?
Yeah, Ukraine against Ukraine.
No, was it? It wasn't Ukraine. It was Sweden.
No.
Oh,
it was Ukraine.
Sorry.
The Sweden game was the 3-2 one.
Yeah, it's Ukraine. Yeah.
I mean, then the last World Cup, I personally was very critical of Wayne Rooney at the last World Cup.
I mean, the Uruguay game, of course, he could have had a hat trick in the space of about 10 minutes, really.
But then no one played well for England.
In the World Cup. I mean, if anything, I think probably the most positive player we had in the World Cup was Sterling.
When he first started as captain, his first couple of games, I was disappointed. I thought he sort of stepped back and he faded. Whereas a captain, obviously, when you made captain, you step up and
that's what I thought
be more prominent.
Especially Man United, he felt a bit quite shouty at the beginning. But he's now sort of leading by example. Like if you watch him now, he'll go approach referees in a lot more of a calm manner and sort of talk to them more. And that
was always a criticism of his game, was his discipline. And when he got sent off against West Ham, I think that was an issue, which was raised.
Yeah, and I think again he's looked at himself and gone, look, no, I'm now the captain of both my club and country. I must represent.
It needs to be better.
Yeah, okay then. So the goal itself, we got a bit distracted obviously, but the header itself, good header. I mean, low range, not much power. The sort of neck muscles to get enough
momentum on the ball really
to generate that was quite good. It was poor defending by Scotland initially, and anything to cover up as well. A pretty poor shot by Jack Wilshere as well when he initially comes.
I don't think anyone's actually noticed that.
He just
he's lashed it, and he's going for a corner flag really.
Yeah, near enough. It's like a Heskey-esque shot really, if anything. Then of course the final goal for England.
Just a well taken counter-attack goal. Really.
Yeah, I mean good by Rooney because I mean the two defenders sort of like locked in centre here, and Rooney just finds a bit of space and just runs in and gets the tap in. And so he's now on 46, I believe.
I think. An issue I've found with Danny Welbeck, watching him in the last couple of games, he's very eager. Sometimes that makes him
rash.
He's too eager.
Yeah.
He takes heavy touches and he gets a bit excited. And I thought he was stupid to get involved with the shoving and squaring up.
But I think with Welbeck, that's partly because a determination to prove himself, in the sense that.
I understand where it's come from. I think it's good to see a player with a positive attitude.
Yeah, he's got a lot of hunger.
But I think sometimes it just affects his game.
Yeah, you've got to be back. It's like. Do you remember when Fabian Delph started that game against Switzerland? He was hungry, determined to prove his place.
You see
and he got booked about. he quite easily could have been sent off in the first 10 minutes of that game. But sticking with England, I mean, overall, so we talk about Scotland. I mean, they put up a good fight. I mean, they were going for it.
I was impressed by their spirit. I think Scotland of old would probably have resorted to fouling and,
there was some good neat sort of passing.
Launching the ball forward.
There was some good, like, neat tactical play. Like speaking around like the final third of England, like England's area, their passing was quite slick, quite involved.
I was actually impressed by how adventurous Scotland were with their passing.
I think they've got a really good chance of qualifying for especially now with the three places up for grabs now, because the first two teams go through it automatically, and the third team get a chance to go through a qualifier. So I think they've got a real good chance of getting through this year.
Good luck to them.
Yeah, it'd be great to see Scotland back in an international tournament.
And, same for the rest of the home nations.
Yeah.
It'd be great to see Wales there. I think Gareth Bale deserves to have a chance at a major tournament, which
Yeah.
Ryan Giggs never got and deserved.
I think Aaron Ramsey deserves a chance as well. I mean, to show we can do. You've got Northern Ireland, of course, and the Republic of Ireland.
Northern Ireland are doing fairly well, although they lost to Romania.
Yes, as far as I'm aware.
Of course, Republic of Ireland. Actually, in that group, Poland are away on 10 points. And then Germany are level with Scotland and Republic of Ireland on 7 points each.
Yeah, so again, I think with that group again,
that's basically.
I think it's gonna be. I think in that
it's
group,
going to end up. I would imagine Scotland versus Ireland.
Yeah, that's what I was
qualifying.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That third sort of qualifying spot, I reckon, will go to Scotland and Ireland.
It would be a surprise if Poland ran away with the group.
Yes, I think it would be. I think we're all expecting Germany to do that, but you don't know, Poland could suffer. Poland could suffer a bit of form. Like, they didn't qualify for the World Cup, obviously, in 2014 for this year's World Cup, and they could suddenly experience like a real downturn of form, like maybe, I don't know, a few injuries here and there, like Lewandowski or...
Obviously everyone focuses on Lewandowski
or Szczesny.
For fair reason, he's far away their stand-up player, but Błaszczykowski, Piszczek, Szczesny are all actually very good players.
And I would talk about them, just I have trouble pronouncing their names, and it's more I don't want to cock them up.
But in terms of Wales... They're not doing too badly. They drew with Belgium, which is a good result.
Away draw against some like the Fellaini, Hazard, Courtois. I mean, there's a good side to draw against, especially away. That's a tough place to go at the moment. I mean,
Sturridge is injured again.
Which we have seen. We have seen on the England site. It's posted by Sky Sports that apparently he has injured himself again.
He's come back.
So Liverpool fans, I mean, it's just more bad news, really. I mean,
absolutely furious.
But I mean, overall, so to conclude. Positive game from England, and we hope that more continues, and we should hopefully, almost certainly qualify for. I can see. I mean, well, the chance of us not coming first, second, or third. This is going to be really bad if we don't actually do it. This will be on camera.
This is going to be one of those ones where someone will look back in 3 years' time and be like, "What did you do?"
Like the Adam McCullough thing with Full-Time Devils. It's just sort of like, "Oh yeah, we're going to finish fourth, finish seventh." I mean, that's always a bad one. But anyway, so yes, good result from England all round, very positive performance, and a good fight back from Scotland. So we'll be back with the next episode at some point within the next few weeks to talk about the Premier League, which returns, of course, this weekend, which we are all looking forward to as the international break is finally over. So until next time, see you.
See you later, guys.